Oh, is it one of those where it like straps onto the bed and then like goes above you and then goes down?
I don't know, but that's fucking hilarious.
Because that way, otherwise you'd have to hold it. Instead, you just like it's like a TV tray, and then it's like a
That's
mouse
fucking.
Something like
Oh
they're
my
the best
God.
worst friends.
We just
Best
never
worst
never get
friends.
bed again. All right, let's record the
Best
podcast.
worst
3,
friends.
2, 1.
With Doug and
record.
Tim. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Best Worst Friends. I think this is episode 23, aka a number I was afraid of for a long time.
because
As
of
a
the Jim
child
Carrey
after-
movie.
Because of the Jim Carrey movie, yeah, that fucked me up hard.
Loser.
Fucked me up hard, dude. Even like alarm clocks in my room, anytime I would look at a time of day, like 8:15, 8 plus 15, 23. Or like if it was
Nice.
just like 9:22, I'm like 9 plus 2, 11, plus 2, 13. Okay, there's 3 digits, so plus 3. Like I would just try and make it 23 however I could possibly do it.
The best you've ever been at math. Just trying to
Freak
spook
myself
yourself
out.
out. And, yeah.
Just trying to make all of existence a fucking horror movie. Yeah, episode 23. I'm Doug Koning. You're...
Tim Nicholson.
Yeah. This is it.
We're so
We
good
made
at.
it.
All right, no, we gotta. How you been? You told me that you had a great day today. Let's start out with that. Let's start out with something positive.
I had a fantastic day, dude. I was out at Brittany's parents' place. They have a pool. So I spent the whole day just lounging in a pool. Dude, I read in a pool. You know how nice that is? You got to try it. I know you're also not a swimming guy,
No,
but
mostly
dude,
because
it's
I'm afraid
very
of death.
relaxing. Yeah. Yeah. I actually did. You know what? I was because the pool itself kind of brings you around in a bit of a circle without even really doing anything. What I've been trying to do is just stay afloat because it's only like 4 feet deep. I just stay afloat for a couple laps, so a couple rotations. I don't think I'm doing any of the forward momentum, but I got 2.5 without having to touch the bottom. And I
that's
was
pretty
like,
good.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I
A
assumed
couple
you were
panic
in,
moments of like forgetting what my legs do, and I honestly don't understand how legs propel you in swimming. I don't get it. If I kick them soft, I go nowhere. If I kick them hard, I go nowhere, but I'm tired. Like, I just don't get what the fuck you're supposed to do with your... I don't know if my legs are shaped weird because they bow out. If it like does some weird thing where it's pulling me backwards when I'm trying to go forwards. I don't fucking know physics or whatever, but I'm trying, dude. I'm
You're definitely
trying.
doing something wrong. It's mostly legs.
Yeah.
Like that's how like children and dogs swim. There's no
Yeah, I do
reason
that-
you should be able to do that.
I do the Dougie paddle. That's what I've been calling it.
Very
where
nice.
I just fight for my life and go on a circle. And then
I
get
th-
mad at myself if my toe touches.
I thought you were in some sort of a recliner or like a donut.
Oh, when I was reading, there's like this mesh thing that has basically like a thick pool noodle on the head side for like the headrest, so your head's not below water, which is clutch for reading, and then
Of course.
had like a little noodle under your legs, so you kind of just float around. And then I'd just be like reading this book that I have to like hold above, and then hopefully not dip in the water, and then occasionally just bonk my head off the side of the pool because I didn't realize where I was going, and then like push myself off and. I only
Man,
dunked the
I
book in
miss-
water a little bit one time, so it's
I
nice.
miss just being a
feels like
dickhead in
reading
the
in
pool.
space.
Yeah, absolutely. You let your ears go under. It's the most relaxing thing.
Oh yeah, you can't hear anything.
Yeah, I remember.
Beautiful, dude.
I just remembered where my fear of water came from. We
Uh-huh.
were at like a church friend's backyard, and I think I was probably, I have no idea, less than 10.
Okay.
Before or like after developing memories before 10. And I was in the pool, and all the kids were showing how they could like float on their back and then let go of the pool noodle and still float there. And they were all
yeah.
showing off to each other that they could do it. And then I was like, I can do it too. I can also do it. And I was lying on my back, and I let go of the pool noodle. And then my sister took the pool noodle away, just completely out of my reach,
No.
and then just panic
Yeah.
and drowning. And I think my dad had to jump in and get me because I was just like a little kid, and I was like, I'm dying. Someone help me. And just screaming in this guy's backyard.
See, I feel
think that's
better
why I'm
about
afraid.
like again, when you have something you don't do, like say swimming or how I don't drive or whatever, it's nice that at least you have an experience that was like a fearful experience that makes you that way. Like I was hanging out with my cousins yesterday. We were having a bonfire, and my cousin Josh's girlfriend Alex just got her license as well, but like actually drives.
Right.
And I was like, well, like, was there anything that held you back from driving? Like, I'm just like one of those people where, you know, it's a weapon and everyone just chooses not to act like it's a weapon. We're like, no, I want to go to the beach, so I'm getting in my weapon and we're going to the beach, you know? But like, to me, it's like fucking scary. Like, you kill anyone at any instant. They could kill fucking you at any instant. Like, that's terrifying. And I was talking to her if she has any phobias like that. And she was in like a horrific truck accident when she was younger, like I think a teenager, where like the truck like rolled so many fucking times. She like showed me a picture of the truck, and it was like you see a bit of the front of a truck, and then it looks like the back of a truck is like on like a weird trailer, but it's the truck, and the cab just ripped away from the bottom of the truck. Like, it doesn't even resemble a truck at all. And I'm like,
she just had this picture on her phone.
Yeah.
Just
probably
tells
to
the
be
story
like,
a lot. Huh?
Woo. Yeah, I mean, I would if I survived something like. I've never
my
survived
lock
something
screen,
impressive.
man.
What's the most impressive thing you've survived? If you had to, if someone's like holding a gun to your head, I guess that would be the most impressive thing if you survived that scenario.
This moment right now.
Someone's like, Tim, you're going to be on an episode of I Survived. You cannot get out of it. You have to tell a true thing that happened. What's your episode of I Survived?
Well, one time as a child, I was in a church friend's backyard, and they had a pool. And I was
Is it the
floating on my
noodle
back.
thing? Come on, man.
I don't do a lot of death defying. One time, a friend of mine who's afraid of cars because he thinks they're weapons turned around and pointed a loaded gun at me because he was so happy it's shooting guns.
Yeah. 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 You know, you're going to defy death a lot in our friendship.
Yeah, that's probably the closest I've been
sure.
to death.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm sure I've been close to alcohol poisoning. Something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be my I Survived, too, is like waking up with that penis-shaped scab on my forehead, like a splitting headache, and having no idea what took place.
And then he did his 7th shot of vodka.
It was the most embarrassing thing, like waking up with like a headache, be like, oh, my fucking head kills, and then looking in the mirror, and it was one of those like, sometimes you ask, give me divine intervention if I should stop drinking. And I look at my forehead, and it's like a dick and balls and like a scab. So it's like one long one and then two smaller ones. At the end, I was like, for fuck's sakes.
God was like,
that
look at
should
this
have been a sign to
dork.
stop. Yeah. God's just bullying me.
Yeah, just drawn on your head with his God Sharpie.
How many times do you think you've blacked out in your life? Like drinking-wise?
Well, what are we counting? Because there's been a lot of... At a certain point, my body just goes, all right, finish line. You know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of times where I don't remember the cab ride. I remember everything up to, all right, and now I'm going home. Or, like, there were some walks home I don't really remember. But in terms of, like, middle of the night, I don't know, probably less than a handful. I was a big puke guy.
Yeah, I wish I was a bigger puke guy. I was always a big puke guy the next day, which is honestly the worst time because then you get to the dry heaves. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. There's
nothing worse than dry heaves.
Definitely been up in the morning the night after drinking and been like, I should have puked last night because this is going to be my whole day now. Like, I went out drinking with Kev and I lost an entire Sunday because Kev and I just decided to hit the town at this age. You're turning 30 in August, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're 29 years old at this age.
Me and Brittany watched like the last 2 episodes of this season of Stranger Things on Fridays. We're like watch it for like 5 hours because we watched the last episode of Volume 1 as well as like a refresher, and so we were like drinking hard. And I woke up with like a headache in the morning, like when she went to feed the cats, and I got one of these liquid IV things that she has, which are, it just has like a lot of minerals and vitamins and all that shit. And I just
Sure.
like chugged one of those with like a couple Tylenol and went back to bed for a couple hours and woke up and felt perfectly fine, and was like, I'm never not doing that ever again for the rest of my life. Waking up at some point and then just like pounding a bunch of like that stuff and then hitting the hay for a couple hours, let it work while you're not there.
If I'm really in that danger zone of like tomorrow is a write-off, I'm not going to remember to like drink some juice or whatever before I go to sleep. Sorry. I don't have
No, it's not a like before you go to sleep. It's like when you first start waking up, or you first wake up like maybe 5 hours after drinking because your body's like, hey, that was poison. We got to get this out of us. You have to be awake for the poison straining or whatever your body's doing, like your liver's
doing.
doing.
Actually is that's
What?
all the sugar from the booze hits your system and your body's like, whoo, all right. Got a sugar
That explains
high.
why I used to feel like great in the mornings. That was a slippery slope for me drinking wise because it was the only good night's sleep and the only time I would feel refreshed in the morning, which I always thought that's probably not good.
Yeah.
It's for sure not good. Some people sleep. Some people go to bed and like wake up and they're like, like they're
I've been having
refreshed.
horrible sleeps the last week. I've been
Yeah?
It's one of those where I had a horrible sleep on like Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
I was just up all night tossing and turning, and now after that, when I lay down in bed, I get this weird anxiety about like I don't want to go through another horrible sleep like that. And then I'm like waking up coughing because I've been fucking sick.
That sucks.
It sucks,
sucks.
dude. And
It's an unpleasant way to wake
I'm all
up.
grumpy. Dude, I've been so sick the last week. It sucks. Yeah. And it's just
not
like
COVID, eh?
no, it's just cough
sick
and cold.
classic.
Yeah, it's just like a real
man.
2018 disease.
Oh man, take me back.
Just going through a box, but I still can't do anything because I can't like
Yeah.
wear a T-shirt that says it's not COVID.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in here like an asshole, just going through boxes of Kleenex, coughing up, whatever.
So what have you been doing with your time? How you filling the days?
Oh, nothing. I'm supposed to be looking for a job because it was like, all right, you finish the boot camp, and then you take a week off, recharge the batteries, and then the week after that you go at it again and you keep the job hunt going.
Yeah.
And I was like, how about just more vacation? Let's just do more vacation.
That's my thinking.
Yeah, I just wake up and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I have no
job hunting is
responsibilities.
Brutal. I went to apply for a job I've had before and I wasn't qualified anymore. Like I applied for a job just working the desk at like a paint store, and it was just a part-time paint store gig, and you had to have an interior design degree to work at a paint store.
Dude, that
which
doesn't
meant they were
bode
going to pay
well.
you minimum wage and then make you do the job of an interior designer.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well for people going to get interior design degrees.
Yeah.
I bet they didn't think they'd be wearing a company shirt and a name tag when they got out of that.
Yeah, just fucking banging cans all day. That was a brutal job if I was ever hungover. Oh my God. Going to a paint store hungover as you're like for like 8 hours, like bang, 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 and then put it in a mixer that's loud.
Oh, God.
Oh man.
Did I ever tell you I worked at a paint store?
Really?
Yeah, we both worked in paint stores.
Oh shit. That's
When
funny
I-
that you literally never mentioned that. You used to visit me at the paint store.
Yeah. Well, we were talking paints. Trying to find the paints with the silliest names. You know,
Oh, yeah, I love
equipment that
that,
kind of
yeah.
looked like dicks. Just we were busy. But no, after I graduated, I got I applied for Sherwin-Williams It's just like a
Nice.
dumb job. And they're like, you have an engineering degree. Would you like to be part of the advanced management training program? I was like, okay. So they were training me up to be a manager of a Sherwin-Williams automotive paint. And it was fun, man. I got to mix paint, which was sick. I got to...
It's a chill job, man.
Yeah, I got to drive around and meet the guys who bought paint, which was wild. Just going up to Nairn, Ontario, and just a dude just chugging Budweisers, painting school buses all day. Just having them, just like, that guy's living a life. But no, man.
Yeah, that guy carved his niche.
Absolutely.
For sure.
He's like,
I want trashed all day painting school buses.
Yeah, he's like, this is the closest I can get to kids. I'm going to paint these buses.
Oh, man. My favorite dumb joke to make at Deluxe Paints all the time was, like, if someone was getting on my nerves, like one of my coworkers, I would just go, what was it? You're on DLX 1001-3. And they'd be like, what? And then I would make them go over to the color cards, and they pick it up, and it was a color called Thin Ice. Made that joke all the time. All the time.
Oh, that's stupid.
Thank you. My other favorite joke at Deluxe was because I spent so much time alone where I was in a paint store on like a Sunday and it's snowing. No one's painting. No one's painting on a snowy Sunday in like December. So I'd just be in there losing my mind like I'm in The Shining for 5 hours, but in like a polo. Yeah. And I had this brick that I would rest my phone on when I was watching stuff. And I couldn't find it one day. So I was just walking around the store, and I was just like, Brick! Britchard!
Richard is very good.
Thank you.
I had
There's a lot of jokes for me. I was alone. That was just for me.
I had the dumbest joke for me. There was a woman at my office I used to work at. Her name was Sue. And I used to always make myself laugh asking if it was short for Sue-mantha.
I love when you ask people questions like that who just aren't in on it too. I'm like, what? No, it's Susan.
Yeah.
It's
short for Sue-mantha?
No. I was just talking to Brittany yesterday about how I used to love fucking with people at Walmart so much. Like every till at Walmart, like say like tills 10 and 11 and tills 12 and 13 would have like their own phones, right? So it'd be like extension 204, extension 205, extension 206 going down. And so I would have my phone off the receiver just enough where it looks like it's hung up, but I could dial numbers. And I would wait until I had like a customer like walking down my aisle and load stuff, and I would like dial the number of one of my other friends' tills who like didn't have anyone there, and just have it set up there. And I'd just be bringing someone through, and I'd see my friend like maybe like 30 feet away, just like, hello? And then I would just like knock it with my elbow to like hang up in their ear, and I would just do that for 8 hours, just all day.
Very nice.
Just having a time.
It's a shock that neither of us have ever been promoted. What a tragedy. That was a weird thing. What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. What do you think is the job you tried the hardest at? You actually were like, I'm giving it my all.
Oh, McDonald's.
What?
McDonald's for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was 18. Wait,
okay.
17. 17. It was my first job. I grew up very privileged.
High school?
Yeah.
After high school or during grade 12?
Victory lap.
Victory lap.
Yeah,
okay.
like summer grade 12 victory lap. I actually got the job and then immediately got mono. And then so I started like 3 months after.
But I just did not want to work.
I got mono after kissing 2 girls. I was like,
you used to live a different life, dude.
Dude, it felt like I got I used to say it felt like I got herpes from a toilet seat. Like I'd say I didn't even do the fun stuff and I ended up with fucking mono. But it was the kissing disease. But no, because I got to Walmart and I was to the Walmart McDonald's and I was just working my ass off because I was like, this is how hard you work. And they were so impressed.
Man.
They pulled me aside and they were like, you know, we want to accommodate you while you're in school. there's a lot of opportunities for engineers at McDonald's. They wanted me to be a manager.
College.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, my manager went to Hamburger U. Yeah,
Oh my god.
and
I hate that.
I got a lot of pulled asides. Those words like, "You're not like the others. You're special. You're gonna make it."
Whereas I probably got pulled aside a lot, being like, "You're pretty much like every other employee we have here."
Yeah.
You're really phoning it in already. We're changing your name to Doug Phoning.
Honestly, when you worked at Walmart, if you would asked a child to draw a Walmart employee, they probably would have drawn you. Like someone who'd never seen you before.
Yeah. I've just always been so uninterested by jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes interested in like coworkers, and sometimes like customers can be fun, but for the most part,
I've noticed.
jobs
by
like
the way,
the second you're like you start paying me for something, I don't know why my caring stops. It's a horrible feature of my brain.
I've
Like,
noticed
this
by
is my job. This
how
is my
little
job.
you've put forward in this trying to book shows, Doug.
Yeah, we gotta get better.
No.
I mean, I gotta get better. Like I immediately try and drag you down with me. We
I will-
suck. Yeah.
No more of this wee stuff, okay? I have listened to
Yeah.
our fucking theme song so many goddamn times putting together this
Yeah.
ad. I want to die. The best
Yeah.
words. Da-na-na-na-na-na. It's in my head forever. Just
fun
you
theme
singing
song.
that.
You're welcome.
It's not bad, but it's in there
So
forever.
much.
Yeah. And you haven't done shit.
You really, yeah. I really should, especially all this call center experience I have. I can talk on the phone. It just takes a little piece of me every time. But maybe if I talk on the phone more, it'll take less. You know?
Yeah, I thought the deal was you're better with people, so I'll do all the behind the scenes dog shit, and you can talk to the people.
Okay, I'll start talking to the people.
That would be great
Yeah, I'll do it.
because you're very likable, and
Thank you.
I am very patient with computers, so we have our skills.
I like how this is a podcast / just team meeting at this point. Hey, if anybody out there wants to book a comedy show, any of our listeners,
Yeah, or
reach out to Tim. He's handling all of them.
or is willing to give me advice on how to make a sizzle reel advertisement thing.
Yeah. Guys, if you have career advice, just start leaving us voice messages on
That would be great.
On Anchor. That's the site we use.
Yeah,
People
or
don't do that anymore. What happened?
or
What happened,
Instagram. Or,
everybody?
I don't know, probably because you kept making fun of Andrew on the
He
pod.
was the only one?
Yeah, it was just him. And you're like, what are these questions? These suck. And it's like, shut up. It's the only engagement we have.
Some of them were good.
They were great.
I miss you, Andrew. Wherever you are, being all hairy.
You're just such a hairless baby.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm just jealous.
You're just
Every
jealous.
part of me, you can just, like a fucking scratch ticket, you can scratch off the emotion. It's just jealousy right underneath. you
Oh, me
know?
too, man. It's so bad. Anytime, like, if you ask me 3 questions after I say I don't like someone, you'll get down to, well, why can't I have what they have?
Yeah. What
It
do you
does
think,
not
why?
take
Why
that
is
long.
that what we are? Why are we
Yeah.
like that?
I think it's because we grew up fat, and we were just like watching kids. We were just like behind a pane of glass, eating marshmallow fluff, watching kids
Another pane
outside.
of glass.
Yeah,
Like the Grinch.
just watching kids play outside, and it's like, why not me? As I shovel chips in my face.
Oh, dude, I heard. I was hanging out with my cousins yesterday, and they were telling me about this almost life-ending mushroom trip they had just taken. And these fucking idiots. They're gonna listen to this, so I can make fun of them. Whatever. They literally, they both took a bunch of mushrooms on July 1st, and they fucking like an hour after they took the mushrooms, they realized like, fuck, it's Canada Day. There's gonna be fireworks all night while we're tripping on mushrooms. It's like my cousin Jet. It's like they both had. Imagine there's just like a video of like the 2 types of bad trips. and there's like the introverted Trip, or like Jesse was just inside himself, just very
Yeah.
introspective.
Absolutely.
Having that.
It was
And
like when
then-
Marcus forgot what friendship was, so he put his hood up and glasses on and started hiding behind pillars for the entire night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that. And then fucking Josh was just like, he has long hair like Jesus and like a beard, and he was wearing like some weird white robe, and he just like kept going up to Jesse being like, the world's fucking ending, man, the world's fucking ending. And he's like freaking out. He's like in Jesse's backyard. He's saying he like fell into a shrub, and he thinks he's like in the fucking thorns and he's dying. He fucking calls everyone, I guess, called to everyone to tell them he's dying, including Jesse's girlfriend, who he owns the house with, who's like working as a nurse. He like calls her a bunch of times. It's like, we're dying. I think the house is on fire. Like saying the most horrific shit. And then he fucking calls their parents. Jesse says he like opens the door to his house like a crack, just enough for like his face to be in the door, and his parents are there. And he said he just like opened the door and just walked away. And then his parents had to like talk them through this bad trip while they're just like, we're dying. And their parents are like, you're not dying, you're just high on mushrooms. And then Jesse, he's saying like, as he was slowly realizing what was happening and like what Josh had done, like calling everyone so much, including his girlfriend who he owns the house with, he said when everybody was leaving, like once they were starting to feel normal, like his mom and dad are filing out and Josh is filing out, Jesse's like, well, I might as well fucking follow him. Like, she's gonna fucking dump me after that. But dude, I was fucking dying at that
That's
story.
awesome.
All it solidified to me too, I would never in a million years take mushrooms with my cousin Josh. Never in
Yeah.
a million billion fucking years.
What do you
Can't
think?
have someone like that around. And these fucking guys are insane too, because they're both alone and took mushrooms. And I think you really, if it's gonna be multiple people, you need to have like a control there who's just normal.
Yeah,
It's like maybe
you
a little
need
drunk or like a little high or something.
some sort of
but-
shepherd to guide you
Yeah,
through.
Josh can come up to you and like grab you by the scruff of your shirt and be like, we're dying. And you can be
Yeah.
like, no, you're fine.
You just like
And
start
he's like,
petting
"Oh,
his
okay."
back.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
just
"Hey, no,
talk
it's
him
fine,
through it
man."
or something.
Listen, just put your hair up in a ponytail. You'll feel like a different person. It'll change everything.
Yeah.
What do you think? Good for his parents for being kind of chill with that situation.
Oh, man. They put
do you
up with
think-
so much shit.
What do you
from
think your
all of us,
parents
dude.
would do if they found out that you were on mushrooms?
Oh, man. Well, I can tell you one thing. I think my mom would make it a lot worse for me.
Oh yeah.
I think just like my mom's concern and like anxiety coupled with like the idea of like I've never even done mushrooms, but the idea of what that would do to me. I don't like the idea of taking anything where you start to lose control. And anything where people tell you like, well, you have to make sure you don't have any demons before you take mushrooms because those demons will come out. I'm like, I don't want to hang out with those demons.
That's how I
don't
am
want
with
that.
That's how I am with weed. I need to make sure that like all my chores are done, and I've spoken to my grandmother recently, and then I can,
Yeah.
and then I can smoke. Otherwise, I spend the whole time being like, I'm a horrible person, and I'm a bad grandson, and I have no legacy, and I can't even
Yeah.
do my laundry. So I need to make sure all that shit is done.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
mean, for me, especially with those psychedelics, like I've had nightmares completely sober that I've like woken up like hyperventilating from, like I was running away from something. Like I remember one time I woke up, I was like sleeping next to Brittany, and I woke up just like, and then I realized she wasn't beside me, and I was like, oh fuck, thank God. Maybe she was like in the bathroom.
And then she was underneath you,
second-
struggling for air.
No, she was like in the kitchen, like getting me something to drink because she thought I was like fucking dying or freaking out or something. I was like, that was a sober dream. I'm gonna let my brain have those drugs? Are you fucking kidding me? I don't think I'd come back, man.
That's what you
My
used to
fucking-
say about weed.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't. This is like one of those things where I don't even think it's worth testing the waters. That's the
You
thing,
used
I
to
was
say
asking
that about
Josh and
weed.
Jesse, I know, but I was saying to Josh and Jesse, like, why do this drug that does that to you? You know what I mean? I think for weed, it was like I got super high, it felt awful, and then after it was almost like bombing. I just bombed weed.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I didn't die. I was
Well-
like, maybe it'll be fun if I try it again. And then I got used to it.
As someone who's done mushrooms twice, and will probably not do them again until the next time I do them. I could tell.
Very respectable.
Yeah, I could tell you that it's because in the moment, there's a party that goes, maybe. Hey, maybe this will be great. Maybe this will
Yeah.
be the greatest thing. And then,
for me, it's not worth the gamble. It's not worth grabbing those dice and being like, come on, not the end of my fucking brain. And then, like, throwing them. Like, snake eyes. Well,
exact
I'm
same
crazy.
conversation we used to have about weed. I'm not trying to convince you to
No,
do
no,
mushrooms
You won't.
because I don't think you'd
Yeah.
like it. But
No, I don't think I would either.
here's
I
the
don't
thing.
think I
Here's
would
what I
either.
learned about mushrooms. You need to be rich
Why?
because I've done them in 2 separate places. I've done
Uh-huh.
them in like a middle class home of a friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done them on the private beach of a different, much richer friend of mine. Guess which of those was awesome?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Believe it or not, watching the sunset on a private beach, making friends with a seagull was way better than like staring at a live, love, laugh poster and going like, I've never done any of those. Like,
I'm
which
dying,
one,
so I'll
dude?
get to live. I'm not in love. And I don't feel like laughing anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I had, but maybe I've never.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. I've just heard nature is like the key. You got to be
Yeah.
outside. You can't be in a fucking box somewhere.
But also, you have to be outside, but I think you also have to feel safe.
Yeah. It would be
And-
fun getting high, like getting really high somewhere, like a rich person's place. Maybe I get high enough to convince myself, hey, this is my life. This is where I live.
You just
Get
You
high in
start
that fucking
taking pictures
backyard
of
of the
yourself.
waterfall.
they had the richest thing I've ever seen in that house,
What?
which is they had a light switch.
Slaves? They had a light switch guy.
Yeah,
In the dark.
get it a little dimmer. No, they had a light switch, and when you flicked it on, the only lights it controlled were 2 lights that pointed at a painting.
Oh my god.
It was just you flicked it on, and then the painting would be illuminated.
Dude, rich people are silly. But I kind of like some of it. I like when I used to ride my bike through North York, and there'd be all these like nice like mansions and shit. It like always make me laugh when people had lights pointing at their house like at night,
Yeah,
as if like someone driving by, they're like, "Hey, I'm rich. Don't forget. Don't forget
Hey,
how good I'm doing."
you want to see what a rich
Look at my
person
house.
looks like? Let's have a look. No, I used to go into rich people's apartments all the time. And one thing that I never got over that rich people have is they'll have a room that just has a couch in it that's not pointed at a TV.
Yeah. What's
Or,
is
like-
is that for business? Like what
It-
is that what goes on in there?
It's not pointed at like another couch or chairs.
Mhm.
It's just in a room.
yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing on that couch?
Yeah, I've never understood that. I've never understood people like who have like a second, like a living room that they don't do anything in. My aunt and uncle had that for a long time at their one house where you would walk in and there'd be a living room immediately to your left, and then there's like a dining room kitchen that was adjoined, and then down the stairs they had like a den. There's like a bigger living room. Down the other stairs was like the living room where they like shoved the kids.
Yeah.
It like wasn't finished in the basement or whatever. But that front living room, we were just never in. Like if you saw like a heat map of the house and like where like, you know, footprints went or like where people stayed, that room was just like ice cold. Like I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they went there to vacuum. That's what they did in that room, and that was it.
Well, that's the room that you bring people over that you like want to impress, but are also no fun.
Oh yeah. You don't get to see the fun house. You get
Yeah.
to see this house.
Yeah, you get to see the classy house where we sit and we converse about the topics of the day. Not in the
Yeah.
other room with like televisions and Nintendos. No, This has a book of photography.
Oh yeah, just like one coffee table book.
Yeah, with the paintings of fucking some dipshit.
Oh, is it dark in here? I could turn on like bloop, just the painting lights up. Ah,
Oh, would you
look
like
at
some
that
more
bad
light?
boy.
The only lights we have in here are lamps. This is the classy room. Did I ever tell you the like famous people's places I went into when I worked
I think
for
you
them?
told me you went in the Sauce Boss's house. Harley Morenstein.
Oh, that's
from
the
Epic
sauce
Meal
box.
Time.
All right, yeah. He was the epic mealtime guy. He was very nice. He had a very small dog. Just
Nice.
pointed me to shit. I went into Julie Black's apartment. That was fun.
I don't know who that is.
She wasn't there. She did the song 7 Day Fool on a Monday. Nothing? Well,
Nope.
she's great.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Gordon Pinsent's apartment, which I've told you that story. But
Who's that?
he's an actor. He's in one of my favorite movies called Away From Her. Makes me cry a lot. It's my favorite cry movie of all the cry movies.
Away from her.
Oh, yeah. It's about a guy whose wife develops Alzheimer's. And then...
Oh yeah, that's a cry movie.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
That is a cry movie.
We'll talk about cry movies in a second. I just want to tell you about going to see Gordon Pinsent. So
Oh yeah.
I went into this apartment, and there was a big painting of Gordon Pinsent on the wall of this apartment, and it got me thinking about him. Cause I was like, oh, I fucking love Gordon Pinsent. That's crazy. And then out of the bathroom in like a robe and underpants comes Gordon Pinsent, and I was like, huh? I had like a moment, and I just looked at him. I went, hey, I'm a big fan. Away From Her is one of my favorite movies. He's like, oh, thank you. And then I just left. I didn't test any of his shit. And I was
And Gordon Pinsent died in the fire.
Yeah, I was too fucking panicked, and I just dipped.
I love the idea of like you being in his apartment and being like, I'm a big fan. He's like, cool. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing in my apartment?
Because that's the thing. Every once in a while, you go into you knock, and then you knock a bunch of times, and then the security you're with opens the door, and then sometimes someone comes out of another room and is like, hi, and then you have to go, I'm here to test your fire alarm stuff. We knocked. Is it all right if I go ahead? And then they go, no. And then you're like, all right, well, we will have to come back later, or else the fire department will have to come. And they're like, all right, hurry up. And then you finish it. So I didn't even tell them why I was there. I was there in a dumb uniform holding a fucking stick that we used to test things. And I was like, I really like your movies. And then I ran off.
I really like your movies. He's like, I really like your stick.
Yeah. Feel like we're bonding. This is nice.
Oh, man.
But no.
So what other good cry movies you got then?
Well, that one's my favorite cry movie. The first time I watched it, I started crying halfway through, cried all the way to the end. Second time I watched it, I started crying right at the beginning, and then cried all the way because I remembered what was going to happen, and then I cried all the way to the end. One time I watched it with a lady that I was dating, and she did not cry, and I liked her less. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I honestly, it stops me from crying watching stuff with people, and it makes me not want to watch certain things with people. Even Brittany was calling me out when we were watching like these last 2 episodes of Stranger Things. She was just like, you'd be crying if you're alone, wouldn't you? I'd be like, oh, I'd be bawling. I'd be absolutely fucking inconsolably bawling at this scene right now.
But cry movies, Away From Her is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Titans? That's a big one.
Yeah. You ever
When
watch Click?
they start yelling left side, strong side at each other, that gets me going. No, I've never seen Click. It looks dumb.
Click. It was dumb, but it's a very sad at the end because like, well, the whole premise is like he's got the remote and he's like skipping through parts of his life to be like, I'm fucking sick of like working at this shit job without getting a promotion. Like, just fucking skip me to my promotion. And he misses like 10 years of his life, and then he at one point, because he's existing on autopilot, so he's like still there, but he's not actually present. Right. And there's like a scene where he's like kind of dismissive to his dad, and then his dad dies. His dad's played by Henry Winkler, and dude, I'm just fucking, I would weep at that scene because there's a scene when like Henry Winkler for the last time. He like tries to show him a magic trick he used to love when he was a kid. And he's like, I don't have time for that, Dad. I'm working. Like his autopilot was just like work, work, work. And the dad is just like, I love you, son, and like turns and walks away. And Adam Sandler kept like reversing it. And then it was just like, I love you too, Dad. And then there's just more sad stuff. And this movie used to make me cry so much that I would say I had stayed up late by accident, some stupid, and I knew I had to wake up early. I would put that movie on because my brain would just shut off. Because it was like, we're not doing this. We're not crying to this movie again. It was like I would see the opening credits a click, and it would just like
You're like a fainting
taking a
goat.
sleeping pill. Yeah, yeah. Just put on a sad movie and it's out.
It's like, oh man, I can't deal with this.
I don't think I've ever cried at a movie in front of people, though. The closest I got was when I saw the final Harry Potter in theaters. I remember because I was with a big group. I was like, don't cry. Do not cry. Don't cry. And then the Warner Brothers logo came up, and all I was thinking was like, this is the last time I'm ever going to see that logo. And like one tear came out, and I was just like, no, you don't. I'm just like, trying to like suck it back up into my face.
I cry in theaters. I
Yeah?
feel very alone. I get very invested. I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. Cried. I cried
so
in
good.
in the theater to that one.
I was getting close, but I was with Brittany, so I was like, I can't
Oh.
cry around a person. I don't know why.
I know it's one of those things where I think like studies have shown that like women are less attracted to you when after they've seen you cry.
Me personally,
Or is that,
that's
yeah.
just the end of the study.
Women
Women are less attracted to you.
Women are less-
Anyways, another good cry movie.
We've shown conclusively women are less attracted to Doug Koenig.
Oh my god, I fucking hate science, dude. I'm never coming here
It's
again.
like they did that at Harvard. And
No, Hamburger U. Wow, I fucking put them through Hamburger U.
they have a scholarship named after me there.
I paid for your fucking textbook, where each side of the textbook is a hamburger bun or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
My
there.
name is up in the gym. I went to, but no, I cry. I don't care. I don't hold back. I'm pretty shameless about crying. I think it's because I don't cry in life. I never cry in life, but
Yeah.
I'll cry in movies like a dickhead.
You don't cry in life?
No, I'll usually cry like maybe once a year.
Oh my
I haven't really cried the last couple, but yeah.
You seem like a guy who would schedule a cry.
I don't schedule
If I
a
looked on your
cry,
calendar.
but it's more like I feel it coming and then I mark off the rest of the day.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
fair.
mean?
It's
I'm
like
like-
being hungover.
I'm like, I just catch myself like, I'm like, all right, let me cancel, text whatever I was doing. I have to cry today. But no, I think it's because I get it out in movies. Like maybe once a year I'll watch Up,
Yeah.
and then just like
Oh,
Boom.
yeah.
all comes
man.
out.
A lot of animated movies these days are really just fucking you punching you right in the gut. Coco was fucking
Yeah,
brutal for how much that made me cry. What was the Onward? Oh
Pi-
man,
Pixar is nailing
Onward
it
was
in
so
terms of
good.
making people cry.
yeah.
I
But like
gotta
it makes. I was thinking about this one day.
talk for a
It, like,
second. I have
makes
to blow my
complete
nose.
Sense. Okay, it makes complete sense that these Pixar movies are of such a great quality and. Try and cut that out of the audio later. That they're of such great quality because you got to think how much time they spend in development. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna make a bad script into an animated movie with the amount of work that has to go into something like that. Where there's like animators working for like 5 or 6 years nonstop, and like thousands of fucking people working on this thing. Like they just can't
Apparently.
invest in a subpar script. They can't be like, oh, we'll fix it in post. It's like, no, this has to be fucking rock solid.
Apparently, like I heard this from sort of interviews with people who work there. They'll just work on a movie for a year and a half and then just scrap it all because they find something that doesn't work, and so they're like, all right, no, that's not the one. We got to
you
scrap
hear
it. We
about
got to
that?
start again.
I can't remember which Toy Story it was, if it was the original or one of the sequels, but they lost all the files to it and the only files they had left of it were one, because like something corrupted, is one employee happened to take home a version of it that was like a couple months behind
Yeah.
or whatever, like on a hard drive, on like a USB stick, and that's the only copy of this movie that they had put like millions of dollars of work into. It's
Yeah,
like, thank God for that employee. I hope she got a raise, dude. Like,
She was working from home because she was pregnant.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And so they were like, could you imagine the relief in that room when they're like, I think Bethany might have one. It's like, oh my God. Just instead of losing all of Toy Story 2. Or maybe it was Toy Story 1. I don't fucking know.
Oh man. That'd been brutal. Maybe they would have scrapped the whole series if it was the first one.
Yeah,
Who
my
knows?
life would be different. I wouldn't like weirdly anthropomorphize inanimate objects and become like a hoarder basically, because I feel like, a pen in my desk is sad because it's like I never really got to write anything good. So I can't throw it away because all of my pens and pencils and papers and speakers and lamps and shit have voices.
They all talk to. There's like one pen's just like, he only uses me to write poop jokes.
Micah does that to me every time I throw anything out. If there's like a bruised apple and I'm about to throw it away, I'll just hear her go like, I'm sorry I'm bruised. I was trying my best. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now I have to eat this apple that's like not good.
I have to eat around the bruise. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now I have to, or whatever I'm doing.
Be funny if she just does it to torture you. Like, you start to eat the apple and she's like, oh God, oh God.
This is
I
worse.
thought the bruising was bad enough.
This is so much
Let
worse.
me die. Let me die. Oh man, I love that. Anytime something has a voice that doesn't normally have a voice, kills me. I think my mom knew that was like my favorite genre of humor. I don't know. As a kid, like if I was ever like eating a sandwich and my dog was just sitting there staring at me, my mom would just do the voice of the dog, like, come on, Doug, just like a little piece of the sandwich. Like, you're not gonna eat all of it. And I look at the dog and she's like giving me these like eyebrows looking up, like she's like, huh? Always talk me out of part of my sandwich every single time.
Yeah, where it's like, shouldn't your mom not want you to give the dog sandwich?
You'd think we give. I know it's bad to give dogs people food, but just to see their little minds explode all the time. Like, we used to give my dog Nika so many marshmallows, and it became a game, like watching her catch them in the air because she was fucking crazy about them. I remember one time I was like, I wonder what would happen if I just like stuck one in my forehead. We had these like jumbo ones, so I like bit half of it and stuck it in my forehead, and she just fucking lunged and like bit my head. I was like, oh, that's a stupid idea. I don't know why I did that.
Oh shit.
Good times.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about Nick?
What about him?
I don't know. Just, did you know him at all?
Oh, Nick Nemiroff. Dude, I don't know why I thought you were like my friend.
Like
Nick.
talking
It's
about
like,
your
fucking-
friend Nick. What
what
the
did he
fuck's he
do?
got going on? He hasn't been on
What?
NBC News.
You're trying out him. Like,
Yeah,
we talked about the guns. Yeah, we can. I mean, I only talk to him at shows, so I feel like I'm in the same boat as those people who, when they post, they're like, should I even be posting this? But like, grief doesn't have a checklist, right? It's
Yeah.
not like, well, you didn't know him for 6 months. Well, you were still on probationary friendships. You're not allowed to be sad if they die or whatever. Like, I've done a bunch of shows with him. He's always one of my favorite people to watch.
Yeah. He was a great dude. He was, honestly, seeing him at the Poacher's Arms is one of the hardest I've ever seen someone crush in my life.
Crush.
Like, I
Yeah,
was
and
crying laughing.
The fact that he was doing so well and so soft-spoken that people like glared at the pool people enough that they stopped playing pool, and then they were into the show.
Yeah.
And they were listening, and it was amazing. I remember posting this somewhere when someone was like, "What's your favorite memory of them or whatever?" I was like, "Yeah, I've never seen someone crush that hard." And then that reminded me, I also saw him at this this ping pong bar one time, where for the first show we were out in the area with all the ping pong tables. And people did not stop playing ping pong, and it was incredibly hard to hear him. Like, it would just be like, he would be doing his jokes, and then all is just like, for like an hour and a half, nonstop.
Dude, I
It was
felt
like, this is a loud comic show.
I felt so bad when I got him to headline Collective Arts. It was cool.
Why?
We got to drive down. Well,
Oh, it's fucking loud outside there.
it was outside. The sugar factory was going. The crowd was real chatty. He got all the tables that were like right up front and sort of, the tables like 20 feet away. It was half full. All the tables that were pretty close loved him, but everybody else was super not on board. And that's really the only time I ever met him, or I really talked to him, because I drove him there and back. And on the way back, before I got out of the car, he commented on how awkward the car ride was. And then we just never spoke again.
That's a funny exit, man.
Yeah. It was
a funny fucking exit.
That was a really awkward car ride. It's like, sorry. He just got out and left. And I saw him at shows and stuff, and we never spoke again.
Nice.
It's just like, we don't really vibe. He's one of the funniest people in the planet. But
super funny. Super.
Yeah.
I think the last time I talked to him was at Railway City in St. Thomas. He was headlining. It was a really fun show. I was honestly kind of scared because I was like, St. Thomas is kind of fucking dumb. Like, I don't know if they're going to be along for it, but they were. Like, they were like a super fun crowd who was like into it and were listening, which for someone like Nick is like all you needed was them to like give that brand of comedy a shot and then have the attention span to listen, and they would have a good time.
Oh yeah, you gave him the smallest amount of attention, it would absolutely pay off. He was he was the shit.
Yeah, he was legit one of my favorites to watch. That the one joke he had where it was like, I love the two because it's just about medieval times. Which also, if we're just like treating this as like a team meeting, give me the dates for me and you and our gals to go to medieval times.
Finish eulogizing Nick, and then we'll talk about our trip to medieval times.
I'm so sorry, Nick, if you're listening. Just kidding.
Fucking God, I hope he's doing something better in the afterlife than listening to our fucking dumbass podcast.
Yeah. Like, imagine he didn't like volunteer enough, so this is what he has to do. Just listen to Best Worst Friends. Oh man, that'd be brutal. But anyways, the joke is
that's hell. Ask me.
My brother just he just quit his job at Medieval Times. Yeah, he just put in his fortnight.
That's very good.
And I love that joke. And what was the Nazi one? Like a grammar Nazi. Like, yeah, they killed my grammar and my grandpa, or like something like that.
That sounds about right.
So dumb, but so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Or I was just listening to his album, which everybody please fucking listen to. Like, I'm begging you, it's so good. His pursuit of comedy has ruined my life. Don't read too much into the title, I guess, at this point. But it's so fucking good. There's a bit on there. Have you heard like the interview with a bug, or like job interview for a bug?
No.
Or whatever, and it's just like a guy interviewing a bug about like well, what's your biggest strength, or whatever, and it's just like, it says like, I don't know, like my perseverance, blah blah blah, like some normal thing you'd say in a job interview. It's like, what's your biggest weakness? It's probably that I'll be dead in 3 hours. Just so fucking good, dude.
Yeah,
so good, and just so unwavering. Like, I've for sure had those moments on stage where I do a bit and a crowd doesn't like it, and then so I either give up on all my new stuff and go to like old stuff in the hopes that they'll like it, or just completely change the plan I had for my set to appease these fucking schmucks.
And then
Nick
that also
never
doesn't
did
work.
that. No, and it hurts more.
Yeah.
Whereas Nick was like always went up there with like, I'm doing me. It's never like if if he was doing a slow paced thing and it didn't work, he was just like, "Man, the other day I was walking to the store." Like no one ever saw him.
Are you two
change.
dating? I remember I saw him at Nothing
You
Fancy.
guys fuck? You make her come? What's going on?
I remember I saw him at Nothing Fancy once, and he went on stage, and he just pointed at a lady in the front row, and he's like, "We went on a Tinder date." And she's like, "Yeah, we did." And he's like, "Well, I just came up here to say I love you."
That's so funny, dude. That's like, it's like, I love his style, and he's obviously was so fucking smart and so good at it, but I feel like we missed out on seeing him in other circumstances. Like, I watched the only roast battle Canada I've watched is like a clip of him and Daniel Woodrow, because like the other ones are like, it's not
Don't
mean
say
enough.
names.
It's not fun. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's not mean enough.
Mhm.
She's like, isn't he kind of silly? Like, well, coming from Mr. Silly Pants over there. Like, this isn't fucking fun for me. But one of the what was the fucking thing? Something about Nick made a joke about sleeping with Daniel's mom, and then Daniel made a joke about, said something like, "Well, how's the cemetery?" And everyone's like, "Oh," and he's just like, "No, I'm just kidding. My mom's not dead. My mom's not dead." And then Nick's just like, "Yeah, she just likes to fuck in the cemetery." I was like, "God damn, dude, that's so quick,
That's really
so
good.
fucking good." Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to do plugs, or did you want to talk about medieval times?
I honestly don't think I have any book shows this
Me
week. so
neither. I
wanna
don't
go
have
to
shit
Medieval
going
Times.
on.
We got to book more shows, man. You gotta start
Whenever,
calling
like
places.
August, yeah, I mean, August, like August 13th is the only weekend I'm busy. So
Okay.
pretty much whenever.
Maybe we'll
It's
do the
too-
weekend
I can't
before, 'cause
make-
that'll
it's
be
too
close to my
open-ended.
birthday.
Yeah, when's the old birthday?
August 2nd.
Oh shit.
August 2nd. August 2nd. Yeah. I honestly don't like birthdays. I don't know why I'm doing that, but
Well, don't worry. We'll
the big
tell
3-0.
everyone. No shit.
oh, please don't.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I don't like birthdays. My first
Hell yeah.
birthday
Why don't you
when
like
I had
birthdays?
a job. I don't want to talk about it, but no, birthdays just suck. I don't know. They're just they're weird. Why? Why are you like, you didn't do anything? You're just born.
This is
I like attention when I feel like it. I've garnered it for some reason. Like I said something funny, and they're like, "Oh, good one," and they look at me and they're like, "Yeah, it's nice." So they, ha ha, ha. Or I'm telling an interesting story or something. But like, just fucking staring at me because I was born. Like, I don't like that. It feels weird.
This is the monologue of someone justifying not liking birthdays because they had a bad experience. That is, I do the same thing.
I don't think
I already
I didn't
told
have
my
like
bad.
a bad birthday.
I don't know. Yeah,
I had some like fun ones at McDonald's and stuff, but which probably set me on a wrong path in general. But
yeah, just associating McDonald's with happiness.
it feels really illegal that they did that.
Yeah,
That they get them that young.
but I think you get the cake for free. I think if you buy enough cheeseburgers, you get the cake for free. I think I remember that.
It's just me, my mom, my dad eating 40 cheeseburgers and a cake.
And then they all come out concerned with a cake. Happy birthday. No, they don't sing.
Happy birthday to
Yeah.
you? Like, just question marks at the end.
No, I remember we used to do birthdays at McDonald's all the time, and because there's the McDonald's in the Walmart, which is just a weird birthday. But
It's a sadder birthday,
Yeah.
for sure.
I remember asking, like, "Do we have to sing?" My manager's like, "No, absolutely not. We give them a cake and they do what the fuck they feel like." But
That's
yeah,
fair.
we got to go to Medieval Times, at the very least
Yeah.
for the content of it.
I can't
You know?
wait for the podcast after Medieval Times. I hope it's everything I want it to be. I think it will be.
We have to get some photos and some footage.
Oh, 100%.
I don't care about the fact that if you go on Doug's Facebook or Instagram, it doesn't look like he's been on stage in the last 5 years. But you will know he's been to Medieval
I'm so
Times.
sorry.
I was
I'm an
trying to
amateur Medieval
find.
Timeser.
I was trying to find a clip or a photo or something I could use in this.
Yeah.
And it's just the only footage I have of you performing is footage I recorded of you. That's the only stuff I have.
Yeah.
And then you
I gotta
sent
get
me
better at
one
recording
that's
stuff.
literally behind the post on some stairs. That one at the Winking Judge.
Oh, yeah.
Where you set up your
Actually,
camera.
I like that. I like that one. Just because I like the angle of being between the posts.
Yeah, that's very
I get it.
that's very
It's not good
artistic
for-
and not at all helpful. It looks like you're performing in your own closet.
I know. I like it. You know what I like about it is it makes me look insane because it looks like I'm alone in the room, but you hear the laughter. But it looks like I could just be piping in all the laughter.
Then, if you want footage like that, do that at home. Do that exact thing, and then get footage of you in front of audience when you're in front of audience. You psychopath.
Yeah. You're right.
Anyway, we can talk shop off the pod. This is exactly 1 hour.
Oh my god.
That's called efficiency.
Guys,
nailed it.
we don't have any plugs, but if you could rate us 5 stars on like Spotify
Fuck, I still have to
and
do
shit
that.
like that. And yeah, for the love of God, Tim, you do that and I'll call places, and then you call places.
All right.
All right, that's the podcast, everybody. Goodbye. I love you.
Hey, not bad.